driving it is so fast. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new video. Now today you join me for another car review. As you can see, I have with me the Mark 8 Golf R, all thanks to ICarGezina, which is where we are right now. Do check them out. Their Instagram will be on screen right now. I'll also link it down below in the description. Now, as usual, let's go through the exterior, interior, and then later on go for a drive. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let's get right into it. So the Mark 8 Golf R, and we're jumping straight into the video. One interesting thing is this one actually has the performance pack, and throughout the video we'll go through all the stuff that you get with the performance pack. I also noticed that with the performance pack you get the black styling pack, gloss black rims, gloss black mirror caps, and overall the front bumper lower area has this gloss black trimmings. Now this area is opened up, no fog lights, so this thing can gobble up as much air as possible. You have the new style Golf R badge. You have the IQ lights with the full width bar on the front, which looks absolutely cool. Coming around to the side, you have these cool looking 19-inch rims, blue brake calipers, and the discs are about 357 millimeters in diameter compared to the 7.5's 348. They're about 2 piston calipers, and the calipers are now made out of aluminium, which is a lot lighter. They're about 600 grams lighter than on the Mark 7.5. You have a little R badge on the fender, gloss black mirrors like I've touched upon. And if we come around the back with the performance pack, so as to say, you get a proper fat wing and it looks absolutely cool. At the back you have a diffuser, quad tail pipes, and the whole thing just looks it looks cool. Now this one doesn't have the Akrapovic exhaust system, which is the only thing it's missing. Let's actually check out the interior. So the interior, I'll put the ignition on so we can run through some of the menus. But you get a proper R steering wheel with perforated grip points. There's a little R badge at the bottom spoke, and there are some blue flashes at the bottom spoke. Once again, there is some blue stitching. You get proper sport seats which have an integrated headrest. There's a little R badge in blue right there. There's some blue perforations, stitching, piping, and some blue touches around the back area of the headrest. It's nice in here. Ooh, the seats, by the way, are covered in Napa leather, which is proper premium leather. The interior is still the same Mark 8 interior that we like and love. Well, some people hate because of the controls, but I want to get into the driving modes. You can access them through 2 ways. There is a shortcut button right there in the center, and there's an R badge on the steering wheel. When you click either buttons, it pops up the different driving modes. Now with the performance pack, you get 2 extra modes compared to the non-performance pack Golf R. There is a drift mode. There is also a special Nürburgring mode, which is very cool. The other modes are the usual comfort, sport, race, individual, which is all that jazz. Now the infotainment system, it's quite responsive. It's very responsive, but it does lack in some ways through the controls, the touch sensitive controls. The climate controls on top here are not backlit, which is counterintuitive because at night you can't see what you're doing, but overall it works quite well. Now the the instrument cluster, very cool. When you put it in its sportiest setting, it has this cool horizontal ref counter, and what I like about this instrument cluster is it is very customizable. For one, within the rev counter and the speedo, you can put certain menus, the torque reader, the power reader, G meter, temperature, tire pressures. You can basically throw around a bunch of the menus, and it's cool. The light controls are also touch sensitive. They're all on the far right. There's also ambient lighting in here, which looks very nice. Currently we have it in this beautiful blue color that matches the R theme. And yeah, the interior is very practical. You have some cool cup holders in the center. You have huge door pockets which you can fit absolutely huge bottles. There is some storage in the center right there, where you also find what you call induction charging, so wireless charging for your phone. So practicality, very good. Still a Golf after all. You have your pan roof, which is touch controlled, and you get the bigger infotainment screen. This one also has the Harman Kardon sound system, and that's pretty much where I'll leave it off with the interior. Let's check out the space in the back seat. So the back seat. Now this seat is far back in my driving position. I do take my seat a bit too far back, and I think the seats are a bit bulky, so they do eat into some knee room, but they do curve in a bit at the far back. But back here it's nice, still the nice Napa leather. You get climate control vents. I don't see, oh, there's actually two USB-C ports. I was about to say I don't see any USB ports. There's two USB-C ports. There is an armrest, center armrest with cup holders which are not covered. They may be a bit awkward, and that's your lot back here. So boot space back here, you're looking at 341 liters in boot capacity, which is significantly less than the non-R cars at about 380 liters. So there's a diff right here at the back. I think that's what mainly eats up some of the space, but you do have some pockets on either side. There's an underfloor where you find a subwoofer for the Harman Kardon sound system, and there isn't a big loading lip. So after all, like I said, it's a Golf. It's still very practical nonetheless. Okay, so let's talk value and pricing. Now, retail price from VW, these are starting from 957,000 rands, but market value is insane on these. So they go anywhere from around 1.1 million. Some are even fetching for 1.3 million. So I'd advise, if you can, try as much as possible to buy one at retail, because it is possible right now. There is quite a number of them available on the market. A lot of them with the performance pack are selling for about 950 on the second-hand market, with delivery mileage still, which is the ones I would actually recommend. Okay, so let's get technical. Let's start with the engine. Now, this is the infamous EA888. This one is the Gen 4, and it's still a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder. In this case, it's making 235 kilowatts, which is around 320 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque. It's mated to the 7-speed dual-clutch DSG transmission, and this one is actually technical. By this one, I mean the Mark 8 in general. For one, you have a limited slip diff right here at the front. You also have another one for torque vectoring at the rear, which is quite insane. It's still all-wheel drive like the other R cars. Now, the all-wheel drive system can send up to 50% of the power to the rear. Now, that diff at the rear can distribute that 50% between either rear wheel. Now, in drift mode, the diff sends 100% of that power at the back to the inside wheel, which is what helps the car be able to pull some skids. That's how you get the drift mode, which is quite interesting. And also when you're driving around, you can feel the whole car rotating about you and so on. Now, with the performance pack, you get interesting driving modes. There is the drift mode, which we spoke about. There's also a special Nürburgring mode, which is quite cool, I have to say. So guys, you joined me inside the Mark 8 Golf R, and I have to say, man, this thing is just, yeah, it's really insane. Yeah, it's just, I feel like it's just so cool like that. And I won't really dwell into ride comfort and all that kind of jazz, because you buy a hot hatch for its performance. Well, the suspension is not bad. Just to summarize how it feels, it's quite comfortable actually. It's really good. But the fun bit, man, this thing is it's really quick. And I know the exhaust, especially compared to the Mark 7.5R, it's muted, but in person you do hear it. And this one doesn't have the Akrapovic exhaust. I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier in the video. And you really need to go hard on the throttle for it to do the pop on gear changes and stuff. I'll just demonstrate shortly. I'll lower the rear windows slightly. Some of these humps are huge, yeah. Okay, so we'll do our first proper pull right here. It takes off, literally. It really does take off. I'll do another proper pull here. This thing is really quick. It is insane. And I was watching some reviews on car wow, 0 to about 100 kilometers an hour, it does like 4 seconds flat, which is, I mean, just think about that. 4 seconds flat in a Golf is really insane. So I'm happy to report the steering wheel does feel very heavy, and it takes about 1 turn to go from lock to lock, and that's generally how it is with a lot of performance cars. There's currently a car in front of me, and I want to do another pull for you guys. Let's go. And I know on camera you probably can't hear any of the sound, and some of it is pumped through the speakers. And if you can, I would highly recommend like just a simple down pump in one of these, and it solves all your problems basically. We'll do another pull now. Ooh, that gearbox is so aggressive. When you rev it all the way, it has this shove, which is just so cool. And the bigger pedals that you get, oh man, it's heavily improved. So let's talk the diff at the back. Oh man. So I feel like the warmer the engine gets, the more you get out of the exhaust. Because I can tell now it's starting to burble a bit as well. Brakes are very strong. I think the brakes on this are about 357 millimeters in diameter, well, the discs that is, and 2 piston calipers. And oh my goodness, this thing, it is so fast. Oh, it's getting louder and louder. I think as the car warms up, you get more out of the exhaust. And we're just driving in a quiet neighborhood, and you can't really experience much of the diff. But with the video I did with the previous one, we're driving on a nice twisty road. You guys can check out that video. I'll link it down below. And what I've experienced with the diff is you can tell that the car moves about at the rear. Go back to first gear. Oh man. So you can tell that the car actually moves around you at the back. And mind you, the car we had previously didn't have the performance pack. So all cars get the diff regardless of whether you have the performance pack or not. But the diff is just activated via software when you opt for the performance pack. But it still works on the non-performance pack cars. It's just that with the performance pack you get the added drift mode and the Nürburgring mode. But man, oh, it's so thrilling. I'll do a pull now. Oh my goodness. goodness. Oh my goodness. This thing literally sounds incredible. I'll go back to first gear. This thing is very, very quick. No man, the Mark 8R is next level. It is absolutely next level. Oh my goodness. And I'm not even doing anything with the brakes, but the stopping power is just mental. Jeez, my goodness. The way this gearbox is so snappy is literally insane. Brakes, very confidence inspiring. Like, you have a very good feel of everything that's happening, everything that the car is doing, and you can just easily master the whole package. Oh, and it's so revvy. The engine is very, very revvy. And the thing is, it's also very easy to enjoy it in a quiet neighborhood like this. Like, you don't have to be driving at Mach 10 to enjoy the car. Oh man, wow, this is such an insane car. Oh, when you let go of the throttle, it just, oh dude, what a car, really, what a car. Man, these brakes, wow, jeez, it's so effortless to stop in this thing. Oh man, that sound, it sounds so flat, but it revs so high up. Goodness me. So I think I'll try do a launch control right here. It's ESC. The ESC and stuff is built into the menu. That's the annoying part about these cars. You have to go to vehicle, take some time to load, swipe, brakes, ESC. We'll go ESC Sport, and we'll go in the sportiest driving mode, which is race. I'll put it in auto. Make sure the wheel is straight. Left foot hard on the brake. Apply the throttle. Launch control program active. And just like that, off you go. It actually bites so hard, man. But I think I'll leave it off right there. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this full review once again with the Golf 8R, and do check out ICarGezina on Instagram. The link, remember, is down in the description below. And yeah, that's pretty much cheers from me.